everyone, Charlene here from Senparlene, and today in this video we are going to be figuring out what's the difference between oil pastels and oil crayons. Ever since my oil crayon video, this question has been plaguing my mind since then. So, let's get to it. On a very rare occasion where I actually leave my house, I went to the dollar store and picked this up. These oil pastels have 12 colors: white, yellow, orange, red, pink, burnt sienna. Why are we burning sienna? Moving on. Blue, light gray, dark green, light green, brown, and black. The packaging also says that it's made in China. Remember that. And now we must try to open this. After many struggles and ripping the box, I finally was able to open it up. Taking it out of the packaging was also pretty hard. It was pretty packed in there. If you look at the oil pastels, even those are pretty packed in. Now we're going to put those onto the side and wheel in its competitor, which today that would be the Daiso Oil Crayons. There's already a big difference. One has 12, the other has 24. We're not comparing all 24s to the 12, or else that's just not a fair game. Taking a closer look at the packaging, you can see that there's something slightly off, and that would be the labels. The pastels are out of order. If you take a look at the oil crayons, it may not have the labels on the side like that, but it has it on the wrapper, which is still pretty snazzy. Another awesome thing is that it has a little indent so that you could push down the crayon and take it out, which is just genius. It makes everything a lot more easier. It's different though with the oil pastels in this pack. It doesn't have that life-saving packaging, but it's still pretty easy to take out. So yeah, the packaging doesn't really bother me that much. What bothers me is the labels. So we're gonna first take out all the oil pastels and reorganize them. Because yeah, that's gonna totally mess me up later on in the future. We're gonna start off with white, place that in there, and then we're gonna grab the yellow, and then we're gonna grab the orange, and then the red. Yeah, you get the gist. But apparently I do not know my colors, nor do I know how to read, because somehow the pastels still end up mixed up, so I quickly fix that up. And I move on to what is swatching. If you've seen my Daiso Oil Crayon video, you're pretty familiar with what I'm doing. To break it down for newcomers, I'm basically testing out the colors. I'm also trying to see how it blends, and I'll tell you, these oil pastels are trash. They do not blend. They are dry. Like, they're really dry. Oil pastels are supposed to be very creamy and blendable, but these are drier than my skin, and I'm supposed to have dry skin. The oil crayons, on the other hand, they're just like the previous video I did. Yeah, they're really creamy compared to the oil pastels. They're super easy to blend compared to the oil pastels. It's not that oil pastels are not creamy, because they are. These are just a really bad pack. And for those of you wondering, oh, duh, it's from the dollar store. Well, guys, Daiso is a Japanese dollar store. Okay, maybe it costs a little bit more. It's $1.50, but for $1.50, you get some really nice blendable colors. And also, there's 24 of them. Man, American dollar stores, we gotta step up our game, guys. Despite these crayons feeling like those cheapy crayons from restaurants I used to steal as a child, I decided, you know what, let's give it a chance. Let's do some art with it, and maybe it'll look somewhat decent. And, content. So, here, I will suffer for you guys. As I stated before, these oil pastels do not blend. If Even if I tried really hard, they're not gonna budge. So I decided, let's go with layering. Layering is a time-consuming yet it should be a pretty effective way to blend. You just gotta do it right. And the key to layering is overlap. So make sure the red, the orange, and yellow all overlap. And you know what? So far, it was alright. It was still kind of streaky, but it was alright. The mountain peaks, for some reason, the black had a hard time covering the yellow at one point, which I thought was interesting because usually black is the overpowering color that your art teachers always tell you to be careful using, but you're like, nope, I want to make this color darker, and then you accidentally add a bunch of black, and then you have no idea what color you created, and you have to start over. Yep, but you know, it was different. It was interesting. So we have one piece down and another one to go. We're gonna be doing the Daiso Oil Crayons now, and alrighty, whoa, you can see there's a big difference right now. It's way more vibrant and it's visually creamy. And you will notice it a lot more as I blend it. The blending is super nice and it's not scratchy like the other one. Ooh. Yeah. Honestly, Japan has the best stationery and art supplies. No one can tell me otherwise. For those of you who assume that the reason why I started admiring Japan was because of anime, well, you're wrong. The true reason was because of stationery and art supplies. Speaking of art supplies, let's get back to the main question. What's the difference between oil pastels and oil crayons? Nothing. It's just the name. Although I don't think this video accurately captures that, since the oil pastels in this video, despite being the same price range, it's way more dry. It's not as creamy as normal pastels. So at least you guys learned something else besides what's the difference between oil pastels and oil crayons. You also learned to not buy the Crafter Square oil pastels. Instead, go to Daiso and buy these oil crayons. Yes, even if your country does not have a Daiso, go out and look for a Daiso and buy them. So, thank you for joining me on this quest to obtain this new knowledge. It took making this video, editing this video, and wasting $1 to figure it out. It was still fun though, and I really hope you guys learned something from this. So, that is all, and I shall see you all around. Bye!